Hello students, in today's video we are going to see how to predict the shape of the molecules based on VSEPR theory. In the previous video we have seen in detail about this theory. What is VSEPR? Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. So based on this theory we have seen how molecules take up different shapes depending upon the number of electron pairs that is present around the central atom. So now in this video, we are going to see how to predict the shape of few molecules using VSEPR theory. So before going on to that, let's have a short recall on what we have studied in the previous video. Here I've written the shapes of molecules depending upon the number of electron pairs. So if you have two electron pairs and both are bond pairs, what is the shape of the molecule? Linear. If there are three bond pairs around the central atom and no lone pairs, only three bond pairs, then the shape is trigonal planar. And if you have four bond pairs, then the shape of the molecule will be tetrahedral. And same way, five bond pairs, trigonal bipyramidal, and six bond pairs, the shape will be octahedral. And we have learned when there are lone pairs on the central atom along with the bond pairs, then the shape given here will be distorted and you will get a different shape. So when you have totally three electron pairs, out of that two are bond pairs and one is lone pair, then the shape will be a bent shape. And when there are three bond pairs and one lone pair, then the shape will be trigonal pyramidal. So totally four electron pairs. Out of that you have three bond pairs and one lone pair. And when there are two bond pairs and two lone pairs, then the shape will again be bent shape. And the next one, we have four bond pairs and one lone pair. Then the shape is seesaw shape. So when you have three bond pairs and two lone pairs, then the molecule will have T shape. When there are five bond pairs and one lone pair, then the shape is square pyramid, and four bond pairs and two lone pairs, square planar. So you have to memorize these shapes and the number of bond and the lone pairs. So now let's move on to the part where we will be predicting the shape of the molecules based on VSEPR theory. So how to predict the shape of the molecule using VSEPR theory. I'm going to teach you two different ways to predict the shape of the molecule. You can use either of these ways, whichever you're comfortable with. One method is by drawing the Lewis structures. The other one is using the formula. We will use both these methods to find out the number of lone pairs and bond pairs of electrons. So once you know the number of bond pairs and lone pairs, just now we have seen a list of shapes that the molecule can have. So you can decide what the shape of the molecule will be once you find out the number of electron pairs. So first method is from Lewis structures, and I've given a video how to draw the Lewis structures of some molecules and ions. So we are going to follow the same method. So first example, I've taken PCl3. So first I'll show you how to predict the product from Lewis structures. Then I will show you how to predict this shape by using some formula. So can you recall how to draw the Lewis structure of this given molecule? First you have to find out the total number of valence electrons. Not only on central atom, total number of valence electrons. So we have phosphorus and you have three chlorines. So what will be the total number of valence electrons? For phosphorus, the atomic number is 15. See, I've written here 15. So the electronic configuration would be 285. So it has 5 valence electrons. So 5 plus 3 into, how many valence electrons are there in chlorine? 7. So 3 into 7 will be 21. 21 plus how many valence electrons in phosphorus? 5. So that gives you 26. So I've written it here, valence electrons 26. So now we have to write the skeletal structure. See, you put phosphorus in the middle, that's a central atom, 3 chlorines around. And after putting that, what you're supposed to do, you put a pair of electrons between each atom. See, I've drawn that in orange color. So first put this electrons between phosphorus and chlorine. See, one pair and one pair here and one pair here. And what is the next step? You have to complete the octet for chlorines. Okay, so see, I've written that in blue color. Already a pair is here, so you have to put 6 more electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So already 2 here, so 8. So again, complete octet for this chlorine and for this chlorine also. After completing the octet, now check the octet for the central atom. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 electrons are there for phosphorus. So totally how many electrons have been used up? 3 chlorines, 3 eights are 24 electrons are used up. So out of 26, 24 is used, one pair is remaining. So put that here. So now octet is complete for phosphorus also. Now look at this structure and find out how many electron pairs are there around the central atom. So this is the central atom. How many electron pairs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 electron pairs are there. So out of these 4 electron pairs, how many bond pairs are there? See, 1, 2, 3. 3 bond pairs. So central atom is phosphorus and number of bond pairs is equal to 3. And how many lone pairs are there? Just 1 pair. So this is the lone pair of electron on phosphorus. So number of lone pair is equal to 1. So now recall that table. If there are 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, what will be the shape? It will be trigonal pyramidal. So the shape of PCl3 is trigonal pyramidal. All you have to do is to find out the number of bond pairs and lone pairs. Don't count the number of bond electrons and lone electrons. You have to count the pairs. So here we have 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. So the shape is trigonal pyramidal. So here we found the bond pairs and lone pairs by drawing the Lewis structure. Second method, we are going to find out this bond pair and lone pair by using a formula. This is an easy way to find out the number of electron pairs without drawing the Lewis structures. We usually apply this formula when you have monovalent atom here. Monovalent like hydrogen, chlorine, fluorine, which can form single bonds. When there are a monovalent atom bonded to the central atom, then we can use this formula. So it's very simple. To find out the total number of electron pairs, you are using this formula. Number of valence electron on central atom plus or minus charge. When you will use charge? When the given species is an ion. Suppose CO3 2 minus, then you have to add that 2 minus here. Remember when we draw the Lewis structures, I told you when it is cation, you have to subtract the charge. When it is anion, you have to add the charge. Same way, if charge is given, you have to add or subtract it depending upon whether it's a cation or an anion. Then plus number of monovalent atoms divided by 2. That gives you the total number of electron pairs. Now look here, I've taken the same example PCl3. Total electron pair is equal to number of valence electron on central atom. What is the central atom here? Phosphorus. And how many valence electron are there? 5. So 5 plus no charge, because this is not an ion, it is a molecule. So no charge, so leave that part, plus number of monovalent atoms. So what are the monovalent atom here? Chlorine. 3 chlorines are there. So 5 plus 3 divided by 2. So that gives you 8 by 2, which equals to 4. So that is the total number of electron pair. And we know total electron pair is actually the total number of bond pairs plus lone pair. So we have the total electron pair to be 4. How many bond pairs? Just by looking at this structure, this formula, the total number of atom bonded to the central atom gives you the bond pair. So there are 3 bond pairs. So bond pair is equal to 3. So 4 is equal to 3 plus lone pair. So lone pair will be equal to 4 minus 3. So that gives you 1 lone pair. So lone pair is equal to 4 minus 3, 1. So total number of bond pair is equal to 3. Lone pair is equal to 1. See, same thing we get here. So what will be the shape again? It will be trigonal pyramidal. So when you have monovalent atom, then you can use this formula to find out the total number of electron pairs, and from that you can find out the lone pairs. Let's see a few more examples. As I told you already, you can use either of these 2 methods, any of these methods, and then you can predict the shape of the molecule. All you have to mention is the total number of bond pairs and the number of lone pairs, and then the shape. That's enough. Let's take the example XCF4. Here also I've used both the methods to predict the shape. First, by using the Lewis structure. We have taken XCF4. How to draw the Lewis structure? The total number of valence electrons is equal to 8. Xenon 8 plus 4 into 7. So that gives you 36. Now let's draw the Lewis structure, draw the skeletal structure and put a pair of electron between each of these atoms, between Fe and Xc. So a pair here, one pair and again another pair. And the next step is to complete the octet for fluorine. After completing the octet for fluorine, you have 4 fluorine, so 4 8s are 32. Now check the octet for xenon. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So octet is complete for xenon. So totally how many electrons are used up here? 32 electrons are used up. But we have 36 here. So how many more electrons are remaining? 4 more electrons. So I have to put that as lone pairs on xenon. This is an exception from octet. Remember we studied about expanded octet. So we have 2 lone pairs of electrons here. So now calculate the number of bond pairs. How many bond pairs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bond pairs of electrons. How many lone pairs on xenon? 1, 2. So 2 lone pairs. So when you have 4 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, what will be the shape? Square planar. So this is finding the shape by drawing the Lewis structure. Now let's try using the formula. What is the formula? To calculate total number of electron pairs, total number of electron pairs is equal to number of valence electrons on the central atom. What is the central atom here? Xenon. How many valence electron? 8 plus charge, no charge here, and plus number of monovalent atoms. How many monovalent atom? 4. So 8 plus 4 whole divided by 2. That gives you 6 electron pairs. So this gives you the total number of electron pairs. And how many bond pairs are there? 4. Because we have 4 monovalent atom bonded to the central atom. So the number of bond pairs is equal to 4. So 6 minus 4 gives you the lone pairs. So how many bond pairs? 4 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. So the shape will be square planar. The next example is ClF3. Using VSEPR theory, predict the shape of ClF3. So I have used Lewis structure method. So total number of valence electron is equal to 7 for chlorine, and for fluorine again 7. So 7 into 3, because 3 fluorines are there, you are getting 28 valence electrons. So draw the skeletal structure, put a pair of electron between chlorine and fluorine. So 3 pairs I have drawn already. So complete the octet for fluorine and then put the remaining pairs as lone pairs on chlorine. So from the structure, number of bond pairs is equal to 3. Number of lone pairs 2. So the shape is T shape. The next example is water, H2O. So oxygen is not monovalent. So we are not going to use the formula. We are going to use the Lewis structure. So calculate the total number of valence electron. For hydrogen it is 1. There are 2 hydrogens. So 2 into 1 plus for oxygen number of valence electron is 6. So we have a total of 8 electrons. So draw the skeletal structure. We have 2 hydrogen and oxygen is the central atom. Put a pair of electron here, and for hydrogen just 2 electrons are enough, doublet configuration. So don't try to complete octet for hydrogen. That's not right. So you have to stop with 2 electrons. Now complete octet for oxygen. So all the 8 electrons are used up. How many bond pairs are there? 2 bond pairs. Okay, 2 bond pairs. And how many lone pairs are there? 2 lone pairs. So when you have 2 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs, the shape will be bent shape. So recall the tabular column, try to memorize that. So it will be easy for you to predict the shape of any given molecule. The next example, using VSEPR theory, predict the shape of NH3. Again, I've used the Lewis structure method. So total valence electron 5. For nitrogen it's 5 plus 1 into 3 for hydrogen. That gives you 8 electrons. Draw the skeletal structure. Nitrogen as the central atom. 3 hydrogens. Put a bond pair between each of nitrogen and hydrogen. And then complete octet for nitrogen. So number of bond pairs 1, 2, 3. Number of lone pair just 1. So the shape is trigonal, pyramidal. The next one is SF4. When you look at the structure of SF4, it is having a seesaw shape. It has 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, and this is the seesaw shape. So there are 2 possibilities for this structure. The lone pair can be here or the lone pair can be here. So which is the proper structure of SF4? We call these positions as axial and equatorial. So in this structure, the lone pair is present at the axial position. So we have so imagine a 3D structure. When the lone pair is in the axial position, there will be 3 bond pair lone pair repulsion. See, 1, 2, 3. So there will be 3 lone pair bond pair repulsions if this is the structure. Now look at this structure. If the lone pair is at the equatorial position, there is only 2 lone pair bond pair repulsion. So this structure will be more stable because here more repulsion are there. Here only 2 repulsion. So this is the preferred structure and this will be the more stable structure for SF4. So this is how we predict the shape of molecules based on VSEPR theory. So if they give you a comparison like this, which is more stable, remember, lesser the number of repulsions, more stable will be the molecule. So if the lone pair is at the equatorial position, you have just 2 bond pair lone pair repulsion. But if it is in the axial position, we have 3 bond pair lone pair repulsion. So this structure is more stable. So we are done with the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. In the next video, we will be learning about valence bond theory. When I started the lesson, I told you about 4 theories. Out of that, we have completed 2 theories and 2 more theories are remaining, which we will be seeing in the upcoming videos. Thank you.